that you are able to do exceedingly abundantly, far above all I could ask or think.
I am so excited because the Step Out TV shows are back live on T2I TV. And for those who don't know, Step Out is a series of interviews and motivational segments designed to bring the best out of you and your business. Therefore, we have the following TV programs. Our first TV program, which is our flagship program, dubbed Step Out with Oscar Bimpong, is designed to interview consultants, experts, talented people, and those doing exceptionally well in their communities. The second one is Step Out SME Focus. This is where we interview business owners and showcase their products and services. The third one is Step Out Youth Impact Zone. This is where we interview young people succeeding against all odds to serve as an inspiration to other young people. And the last one is Step Out Authors Corner. And this is where we interview authors to share what their book is about to the world. Join us every week. Like T2I TV on Facebook and subscribe to the YouTube channel. To advertise or for further information, do WhatsApp +44 759 1152 983 or +233 55 580 3924 or email info@traintoinspire.com. T2I TV, we engage, educate, enlighten, and empower.
Welcome to another exciting edition of the Step Out Youth Impact Zone. And every Tuesday, what we bring you is young people that are making a difference on the continent of Africa, and that is the Step Out Youth Impact Zone. For those that don't know, my name is Oscar Bimpong. Oscar Bimpong is a transformational speaker. He is an author. He is a corporate trainer and a business consultant. I will be your host for the Step Out Youth Impact Zone, and tonight is no exception. I've got a powerful team that are waiting to come on the show. And trust me, it's going to be an amazing discussion. If you are watching this, I will encourage you to share this for somebody to really enjoy this discussion. Now, before I go on to introduce my guest, I want to do a few mentions of our sponsors. This program is sponsored by Train to Inspire Consultancy. Train to Inspire says that is for all your business training and consulting needs. Just contact them. As a business startup, in terms of your business development, in terms of strategically positioning yourself in the marketplace, what you need is Train to Inspire Consultancy. And also Train to Inspire Consultancy works with schools. It also works with university and colleges in terms of their personal development. Then also ALS Global Shipping and Logistics. That is your trusted import and export company based in Accra. ALS says if you are stranded at a port, call them and they are going to sort you out. Also, ZPay Ghana Limited, your remittance and mobile money company based in Ghana. ALS ZPay says ZPay just launched their ZPay mobile money, and their USSD code is *270#. Just dial it on your phone and register for ZPay mobile money. Then also Wheels for Sure, your car leasing company for every credit. Wheels for Sure says it doesn't matter your credit, you will walk out of the garage with a car of your choice. When you call, quote T2I 2020 to get a good deal. Now, if you want to take the contacts of our sponsors, they are scrolling on the screen. Just take it and contact them. And I always say that If you contact them and you tell them that you got the number from T2I TV UK, you are more likely to get a very good deal. Also, if you want to sponsor any of our shows, you are more than welcome to do so. Just take the number for T2I TV UK or Train to Inspire Consultancy, and we are going to work with you. I always say this, that a lot of small and medium enterprises and startups cannot go to mainstream media to advertise. If you are that type and you have got a very small budget, contact us and we are going to support you. And also, as a consultancy firm, we are also going to grow with your business. We are going to give you the best of packages, because we believe that if we are growing with you and you are growing, we are also going to grow as a business. So contact us and we are going to work with you. Now, I've been talking too much. And who do I have on the hot seat today? I have got two gentlemen, all the way from Ghana. And these young men, they are not new on the Step Out Youth Impact Zone. Actually, I will say, among all the young people that have been on the show, they are among the best. I'm not saying they are the best, but they are among the best. Why? Because these young people, trust me, they call me as a mentor, but the kind of things I learn from them, they don't even have a clue. Why? Because wisdom and knowledge is not in numbers. It's your ability to read, your ability to seek knowledge. And I can tell you, these two young men are endowed. They really understand the market that they are in. And these are the young people that are my friends. Why? Because I'm also learning from them. And they give me hope that what? Africa can be better. And trust me, don't ever change the dial from here, because the kind of things you are going to learn is going to amaze you. Now, who are these young men that I'm talking about? The first one is Mr. Peter Enimil, the man in red. And he is the CEO of 233 Developers LLC, USA, Ghana, the president of the African Youth Leaders and Entrepreneurs. He is the deputy executive director, Global Chamber Accra, and also serves as an advisor or strategic consultant for numerous startups and SMEs. Then my second guest is the man at the top, and he is David Asaana. He is an author, motivational speaker, entrepreneur, business consultant, and CEO of Global Institute of Entrepreneurship and Technology, all the way from Accra, Ghana. Please welcome to Step Out Youth Impact Zone, and you are live on T2I TV UK.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, Oscar.
How is your Tuesday been? Because Monday is always busy. I always say that Tuesday is where the pressure starts coming down for us to launch into Friday. How has the week been, David?
As I have always said, the entrepreneurship lifestyle is not really easy, and the day has been very busy. But by the grace of God, we have been able to do something. So that is it.
Now, Mr. Peter, the main man.
Oh yeah, my day has actually been cool, really cool. Like it's not like it's been so hectic, but then again, I've been quite relaxed for the past few days. But it's still been something else altogether today, having lots of meetings virtually and stuff.
Wow. Tonight, we are going to talk about a powerful topic that is dear to my heart.
Okay.
And the topic we're going to talk about is technology, the future, and Africa's development. What a powerful topic that is. Now, why did you guys choose such a topic? Starting from David.
Okay. So I think there is the need for Africa to come to the realization that we are not well positioned on the global landscape, and it is because of lack of knowledge. And I believe that if people have that kind of knowledge and the kind of understanding that I have, that I believe Africa can be positioned better, then we can really make Africa a better place. So I think that today I will have the opportunity to share the ideas that I have about the development of Africa and the problems that we are facing as a continent, and the fact that we are far behind in terms of technology and what we can do to move forward.
Now, Mr. Peter, why this topic?
To me, I believe if there's any way forward in life, in our current situation, it would be technology. You know, if you pile up the topmost five companies in the world, you realize tech plays a huge role. It could be engineering, but it's still in the tech industry. Do you get what I'm saying? Like from smart things to Facebook to Google to all this kind of stuff, the top 10, top 20 companies, apart from pharmaceuticals, technology is the leading companies. It's part of the leading companies. So if there's anything, one of the things that will make Africa go forward, apart from minerals, then it's going to be human resources and technology. And this is something that we actually have to take our time and look at, and take our time and develop, and take our time and grow in to develop the continent Africa.
Now let me go straight into business, right?
All right.
And I hope you guys are fired up, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Now, for us to have that technological drive, we need to invest in children for children to understand coding. In the UK here, children learn coding at such a young age. Now, do you think we are really incorporating that spirit in children in Africa? And are we building structures for them to start coding?
Okay. To me, I will say no. Why do I say this? Um, the a report by UNESCO that was released last year, 2019, indicated that the student computer ratio is about 10 students per one computer. In Ghana, in Africa, in general, that's what the report indicated. And even if you are around and you happen to go to the hinter parts of the hinterlands, some, let's say, some of the deprived areas of Africa, Ghana, Africa, and most of the parts of Africa, you will come to realize that we are really lacking far behind in terms of technology, and the proper structures for the learning of technology, coding, and other IT related things are not really in place. And I can tell you that even when I started, I really grew up in a very deprived community in a village. And I tell you that the first time I saw a computer was when I completed JHS and I went to print my results. That was the first time I saw a computer. So the proper structures are not really in place because you will come to even basic schools, junior high. How many people even know even the term coding?
Mhm.
It is not really the proper structures are not really there for people to learn, for the youth to prepare for the next big things that are coming in the future. So I would say that Africa is really lacking far behind in terms of technology. 10 students per one computer is very bad, and even this is the average. There are a lot of places where the schools don't even have computers at all. So the situation, Africa is not really preparing and not really having the right structures put in place for the learning of coding, IT, and in general technology.
You were very lucky to really see computer when you were at senior high. I really held the mass when I was university first year. So you can imagine.
Oh,
And the most
Very bad.
thing is that when we were in first year, we had Windows 95, but then
okay.
the lecturer didn't know Windows 95, so we had to do Fortran 44. And you know how the coding for Fortran 44 is, right? Half of the class fails because it doesn't make sense to normal human beings like us. Now, what is your take on that, Peter?
You see, regarding myself, I wouldn't say I didn't see computer at an early stage because I started doing computers and using computers when I was like 6.5. So actually started really early. I started doing this programming this stuff when I was like 13 years old before I even went to secondary school, etc.
Okay.
I made my first game when I was like 17. But this is how it is for me. I think how many people in Africa the take has been for many people in Africa that were not like me was it's difficult. Like computers became a thing in just recent times. 10 years ago, 8 years ago, 12 years ago, even mobile phones. Smartphones became a thing like 4 years, 5 years, three and a half, 8 years ago. Just in recent times, and this has affected a whole lot of people. But are we really gearing towards the brighter side of life? I think we are making an effort, even though we are not remotely close to the Western world. If we want to make comparison, But we are making an effort where we are actually shifting ourselves from nothing, knowing nothing, to getting to know what a computer is and other kinds of stuff. um 12 years ago I was teaching grade 1 children IT. I was teaching grade 1 children IT, and I was teaching a kid that was only 6 years old how to program. And then a few years back, like let's say 7 years back or 8 years back, or some few years back, I don't really remember exactly how many years back, I was teaching a kid how to program. That was 7 year or 8 year kid, how to program in Scratch and Visual Basic. It's one of the most basic programming languages as at the time I knew more to teach best, you know. But if you compare it to the rest of the world, the rest of Africa, most parts of Africa, then we are not really doing a good job. Most schools in Africa, especially the government schools, do not have computers. Go to the north, go to Ashanti region, go to some part of Greater Accra, go to Central region, some part of Eastern. It's a mess over there. Like, they don't even know what a computer is. I could remember last year or 2 years ago, there was a teacher who brought some video over the internet. He was teaching IT. This is a mouse, and the mouse was on the blackboard. I mean, for crying out loud, how you want to teach me IT when it's on the black? The mouse is on the blackboard. This is a keyboard. The keyboard is on the blackboard. Like, it's on the blackboard. So we are lacking behind. The statistics shows that we are really behind. But have we made an effort from where we started from? I think for the past 5 years we've done something really good, and I do hope to God that we continue the process, to improve better, Oscar. So that is the biggest challenge. We are not really anywhere. We are nowhere compared to the Western world, but we are also somewhere compared to where we started from a few years back.
But I believe that we are really too far behind, especially when we think of internet still being a challenge. Because how can you drive technology when internet is still a challenge? David.
So, um, the governments of most African countries really have a big responsibility, because if most schools, let's say basic and then senior high schools, could actually put structures in place to provide internet for the students, it will really help a lot. Because as I was saying, even back at the university, it was really a problem. Internet connection was a problem. And even as I speak, even I teach at a senior high school, and I have come to realize that even internet connection is a problem. So I can say that what I will say is that governments have a responsibility to put structures in place to provide internet connection. And it's an investment. If we really want to move from where we are to where we are hoping to get to, we need to invest in it. So governments have a responsibility to put those structures in place. And not only governments, companies, all well-meaning Africans who think the development of Africa is a priority should make it a point to help. Even in our homes, even as individuals, the way we can, the little contribution that we can do to help, to provide institutions, to provide the schools, wherever we are, that we think we can contribute to provide internet for Africa, it will actually help us. So that is what I can say. And even most of the developed countries, um, the leadership, the politicians, the governments, they have systems that they put in place to make sure they subsidize the internet charges so that it is good for an average person to have access to the internet that can really help to help us develop in terms of technology. So that's what I have to say. I think government has a bigger responsibility in that.
Now, Peter, he made mention of how expensive internet is. And trust me, when I'm in Ghana, I spend much more on internet than in the UK. Trust me. And I'm like, this is a third world country where I was thinking it has to be cheaper, but it turns out to be more expensive than where I am in an advanced world. Now, do you think this we can overcome this challenge of high expensive rate of internet, and and they are not also providing a good service? So one, it is expensive and the service is not good. How do you think we can overcome this challenge?
It's going to take us 8 years to actually overcome this particular challenge.
Why the estimate of 8 years?
Um, so this is how it's going to be, right? Most people want to use internet. up until the time where we can actually, internet is given almost like freely, but the infrastructure costs a little bit much. Now the government have to put taxes in place, with tax reduction in place, for us to be able to get subsidized internet. We have to get a lot more people using the internet, so the cost can be split among ourselves. You see, I've got constant internet in my house, and it's very expensive, I must say. It's really, really expensive. And for a person like me, living alone with me and my but me like living here um with my family, just few people living in the house, and it's expensive to pay for that much for internet. Even in the US, it's not that expensive. Now, what the problem with Africa is, we want the internet. It is new to us. The services are new to us. We should, we must, but it might take a bit of time for us to actually endeavor to make it affordable for every one of us. You see how when vehicles first came to Ghana, how they were so expensive, but sooner or later, when people started buying more vehicles, it's like division of cost. The things just started to reduce in price. How are we going to be able to make this thing happen? If the government decide that we are going to reduce the taxes for all these companies, I think they've started somewhere. They are trying to do certain things in relation to that. And I know a company that is coming to Ghana to provide internet for the remote areas. And I pray and I really hope that they can be able to establish themselves properly over here to be able to produce such affordable internet to the remote people in the remote areas. In Ghana, we have an issue. In Africa, we've got an issue. Our issue mostly is with the internet and our infrastructure. It costs to bring the things from abroad over here, the cables, routing the cable from under the sea to this place, more than it costs to do it from many other places in the Western world, because they make it over there, they send it over there. You see the way when Chinese are bringing their things over here, we make it for free. We make it free for them. Oh, come and build the bridges. You don't have to pay duty. You don't have to pay taxes. You don't have to pay all this kind of stuff. And they bring it and they build it for us. If you could do that for the telcos, I believe we could have certain things which what arrive in a cheaper manner, and production of internet in a cheaper manner. A few months back, I was discussing something with somebody as to how Africa can get internet. And I did my calculation to realize with $10 billion, somebody can provide Africa with infrastructure with internet for the whole of Africa, just for $10 billion. And it's possible for somebody to do that. So with what David said, anybody with money, anybody with a capital, anybody with a company, the government must come together, put themselves together. 500 miles above sea level is no man's land in the skies. Everybody can do almost anything over there, and we can actually strategize ourselves, put some satellites in place in the skies, to produce some good internet where there are no black holes, etc. So you see, you're paying for internet in your house. When you get out of your house, you get quality internet, but when you're inside your house, you don't get quality internet. All these things could be fixed, but it takes a lot more effort than what we are actually doing right now to fix these kind of problems. We can go about this topic and go about it, and we'll still come to one conclusion, that we are not going to get enough until about 8 years time, when we decide that we are going to reduce taxes, and we decide that we are going to have a lot more people use internet, and the company decide that, see, you know what, we are going to be kind to the people around us, because internet is practically free, should be practically free, should be cheap, one of the cheapest things. The moment you have the satellite, the moment you have the infrastructure in place, the only thing you're paying for is maintenance.
So are you talking about investment, or you are talking about competition, making it more competitive so that it's going to drive prices and lead to investment? Which one are you talking about?
Honestly, competitiveness, if you would even drive the price down, it's the number of people that use the system that's going to drive the prices down. Currently, we have good competitiveness in this country, Ghana, but only one company actually does the better thing over here, which is MTN. The only good internet service that that network has is Vodafone, and it's their fiber optics. It's not even their mobile internet. It's their mobile internet is kind of whack. Excuse my French, but it's sort of whack. Their fiber optics is a little bit better, and with MTN doing fiber optics, which is also making it available for this MTN, they've got some one which is mobile fiber that is available for almost everybody that has got like 4G plus or 4G LTE, mobile 4G. That is really working right for many people. With that, it is good. It helps, but it still doesn't cut down the price. You see, the competition is there, but we are still not getting the price cut down. The price cut the cut down of the price will come when we have a lot more people using the internet. One, two, when we've got our government saying that, hey, when you're bringing your infrastructure in, we are going to give you zero taxes. Two, three, when we've got a good company that says we are going to provide cheaper internet for people in the remote areas. Because it's essentially the people in the remote areas that will decide how much our internet should cost. If we are able, if I'm able to provide internet for almost for 60% of the people in the remote areas, do you know what happens to me? I take over the market. I start taking over the market. If anybody knows that I can get 2 gigabytes for 2 cities in a remote area, then it's supposed to be 2 gigabytes for 2 cities in Accra. So the people in Accra will also get that much data or 2 gigabytes for one city, whatever the price may be, so long as it's affordable enough. We can do this, but it might take a long while for us to be able to achieve this. As usual, Africa, we are slow to certain things. We are weak in certain ways, but we are making the effort. It's true that we are not really making the good enough effort. We hope our government, like David said, our government should do certain things for us, and we hope people will invest in us, invest in companies and then in people that can do that. And we hope we get intellectual people, intelligent people to come and develop certain kind of infrastructure and bring about certain kind of technologies that would help us.
That's a very powerful response, and I think I agree with you. But David, there is one thing that really bothers me, right? And I've seen so many young people that have developed technology in Africa.
Okay.
There is this young man in Ghana now recently that really developed a car, and he used it for his SHS exams. He drove it to his SHS exam, getting the car from the junk, right? I have seen young people that have developed apps, right? And even common APIs that they can really put their apps on, or common structures in place to support them, is a problem. How can we drive technology to drive our economies on the continent if there are no support systems for talented young people that are really developing technology to really drive the economy?
Okay. Thank you. You see, this is a problem I have been thinking about and I have spoken on it in my own ways. Why do I say so? We should have been investing more in technology, in practical things that are going to equip the youth with skills to provide solutions to the problem of Africa. For instance, as you just mentioned, I was expecting that the young guy who manufactured the car, that JHS student should have been given a lot of support. The government should have taken upon themselves to really help this guy and bring him up and train him to. He's going to be a great asset to Africa. Unfortunately, little was heard about him after the first story was heard. So I think that the leadership, there is a problem with the leadership in Africa. Why do I say so? Think about the national science and math quiz that we do in Africa here, in Ghana, for instance. They basically give them theoretical questions to solve, and at the end of the day, they have no practical experience. They cannot really use that knowledge they have learned to solve any to provide any solution to any problem. And that is the problem I think the countries of Africa have. So it is a problem of leadership and the lack of vision. And if the countries of Africa, if the presidents, the leadership, and they really want our continent to develop, there should be systems in place to help talented people, to help young people to invest in practical sessions, trainings. I would have been thinking, or I was wishing that they would have been organizing programs like robotic, maybe competitions, artificial intelligence, a lot of things that are going to really equip people with the youth with skills to design solutions to our own problems. But unfortunately, this is not what is happening. So I will say that there is a bigger responsibility on the leadership. There is a bigger responsibility on the average person. Even companies can come into support. If companies are ready to come into support to provide the equipment and the infrastructure needed for technology, I believe it will help. So actually, they have not really been the proper structures, the vision, even the programs that we run, they don't really help. So what I want to say is that the leadership should actually come out with better options. And even if all of us are involved, even if we can do anything in our own ways to really communicate, and the leadership or the governments will be able to come to a consensus to realize that for Africa to really make it big, we need to come out with um, programs and that are really going to help the youth to have practical skills in technology that can help to solve the problems of Africa it will help the continent to be better. So that is what I can say.
Because for me, what I was thinking about that young guy that really built that car, what I was thinking about is that at least that young man would have got a scholarship, isn't it?
Exactly.
I think he got the scholarship, by the way. I think
From what?
Kantanka.
Okay.
You know, as Kantanka Junior, I think I hear something of the sort. I think it's true. Kantanka Junior offered to mentor the.
I thought he just visited the place, right? But I don't know whether there was any skill on that. Probably I guess they were going to really give him the necessary training and all that, but I don't know. But I believe that this young man should have been given a scholarship to maybe to master's level or whatever, so that he can understand the technical know-how, right? This is a young person that we should take to Silicon Valley, right? For him to go and have 6 months training over there. When he comes, he's more inspired. This is the young man that we should create a platform for, where he can start doing small things to really feed the market. But I think these things are not in place. What is your take, Peter?
Oscar, if my mother used to say something. She says, if you don't know death, look at how sleeps look like. You know, the only thing which is which can be compared to death is in any way is sleep or coma. Now, here we might not have people that would do this for him. It is true. See, we are bombs in this country. Yeah, we are bombed in this part of the world. We don't really like to help other people. This young man might be intelligent enough to do whatever he did. He's very, very intelligent, not even might. He's intelligent enough to do whatever he did. Kantanka is a typical example of somebody we should look at. He how do I put this in the right context? He set up a very nice company, and yet we never support it. We are all guilty of Kantanka's not support to Kantata, including the government, most especially the government. The government would rather import a 4x4 Toyota Prado, you know, rather than buy Kantanka's 4x4. And it's amazing. Kantaka is in this country. A lot more cars could go in there. He's the only person that actually picked up this young man and said, "Hey, young man, we want you to come over. I would like to mentor you." The junior, Kantaka Junior, by the way, we would like to mentor you to make sure that you get to somewhere better in which you can do whatever you're doing and do it even in the greatest form. And it's commendable. I'm really happy he did that. Our president couldn't do that. Our president was able to only invite the national service. Is it what was the name again? Youth
National
mass
science.
national size and mass quiz and give them toffees and cakes and pancake and a little bit of trip to the Flagstaff House, which is very okay. I'm not saying it's not okay, but people like this should have good scholarships, right? A lifetime support, a lifetime scholarship where they could study abroad, like Oscar said, and they could do certain things, to develop our nation. We are not going to do that. We will not do that. Not today, not tomorrow. The only time tomorrow that we will do is after the day after tomorrow, and I don't know how many of us will be alive to see that day, but we certainly pray to see that time. Many a time we like to heal the people. Do you know the story of the young man that was singing this song, "I'm a goat, I'm a goat, I'm a goat," with the
Yes.
chain, goatee stuff?
Yes.
Do you know how
AY
long?
Puyo. He's called AY
Oh,
Puyo.
yeah, yeah, good. Do you know how long it took for that guy to get on TV set,
Okay.
to get interviews?
Yes.
Just a few days. This young man was able to move from a goat with chains on his neck, acting like a goat, whatever it is, to going to TV station. And it was mediocre enough. I'm not saying his talents is mediocre. Everything you have to do to make yourself famous is okay enough. But it makes us feel like we're a joke. You see what David said. Many people that are into the NS National Science and Math Quiz, yeah, NSMQ, they don't get anything. All they get is that trophy. Oh, you're the first person or the first or second person. The first, second, third schools, they don't get nothing. And these are intelligent people that should be sent to Finland, that should be sent to US, that should be trained by good pros over here in this country to solve realistic problems and not that fictional problems like the tale of 1+1 equals this things that I can't even fix myself. Like we should give them chance to do something miraculous. And because these boys are wonderful people. When I hear some of the questions they solve, I say I'm intelligent with an IQ of 138, but I can't do much with what some people can ask somebody a question, you've not finished the person is answering the question. How in the Lord's name is that even possible? And yet the person just grows to become some doctor in a remote area. How you see how painful it is? Instead of becoming some researcher that will be able to train more doctors, we can't even help the person get a good thing to be able to establish some good institutions, help them do certain things. Some of them go ahead and become some workers in just employee in just a regular company instead of being able to be trained to train the trainer. You know, they are supposed to be trained to become the trainer so they can train trainers. We don't do that. It's like we are slacking ourselves behind. We are pushing ourselves behind. And the interesting part of the whole thing is we'd rather have a showcase and a picture with those people. And the next day it's off, it's dead. But when it comes to all these nasty things on Instagram, all these naked people on TV, we show all these kinds of people how we are showing ourselves and our youth and our young people the wrong way. We promote nudity instead of promoting intelligence. We promote sick attitude instead of promoting creativity. We are sick. We are genuinely sick. Instead of us being creative enough to promote the creative people and the intelligent people, we are doing what is wrong. Like I told you the last time we spoke, somebody told me that, yo man, your idea is too big. Go and look at something which will cost $600, $700, and we will help you sponsor it. I think we don't have $600, $700 in our bank accounts. You see, it's a pain, it's a bust. If somebody does something right in Africa, we must support the person. We don't support our own. We don't support our own. And it is a big issue. It has been an issue. I don't know when we are going to stop it, but I do hope to God we stop. It's a big issue. It's a really big issue, Oscar.
But I really like the angle that you are speaking from. And David, I want you to contribute further.
Okay.
As you said, right? We really glorify people that you see somebody becomes popular in Ghana within a split of a second, right? For me, I think the young people that should be on TV to be interviewed is you, David, and Peter on national television. Morning shows, I would like some of you to be in these big TV stations, the Joy Prime, the TV3s, because let me tell you this. If some young people can see you guys communicating what you have been communicating to me this year, trust me, you can change the mindset of so many young people. But trust me, you guys will never get the chance to be on national TV. But go out there and go and insult the president. Go out there and make yourself naked. And the next day you'll be on TV. Is that how it's supposed to go, David? Because this is too worrying for me.
No, of course, if we on that particular path that we are moving, it will never lead us to any better destination. Why do I say so? If young people like us can be given a platform to communicate our ideas, we are going to affect lives. We are going to enlighten people to have that kind of vision, that kind of spirit, that we can do something better for Africa. So we really are so behind in this particular regard. And I believe, I'm putting plans in place to communicate my ideas. And I believe that, yes, the situation is not good now. But I am hoping that in the next few years, we are coming to realize and have an understanding that we should give priority to things that are really going to talk about our development, focusing on some of the problems we have and how we can really solve them, and not on we putting much emphasis on maybe a lot of things that are not really necessarily coming to help us develop. So, in fact, we are not really on a good trajectory to the path of our development. But very energetic and enthusiastic people like us, I have that vision and I am putting plans in place. And I know that one day I have people, I will get people who are having that kind of mindset. Like we are here, we are getting more people, and by the grace of God, when the group becomes strong and the spirit is very strong, we can communicate our ideas to really help to develop Africa. Because it is really worrying sometimes when I sit down and think about the situation that we are facing in Ghana and Africa. We have the resources, we are really blessed. God has really endowed us with a lot, but it is due to our stupidity and our lack of thinking. We not being able to think and come out and understand that we are far behind because we have not made up our mind to develop our minds to really tap on the resources we have to really develop ourselves very well to create the life that we want. So I am putting plans in place, and I know by the grace of God, once there are people like you, the situation is not the best now, but there is hope, and we can do something. That is. What are
Now,
they?
now let me move on something like and let me give you this particular scenario. You know,
Okay.
landlines, right?
Okay.
In Africa, we never got the opportunity to use landlines. Very few people use landlines. And when you go to Europe and America, almost every house has got landline. Now we leapfrogged and we really took landline out of the way and we went into mobile. So when we come to Africa, we didn't have the experience of landline that much, but we leapfrogged to get into mobile phones. Meaning that that gap of landline, we have really we drove it out and we have really settled on mobile and it is working for us. Now, with this new idea of mobile phone technology, that is really driving the technology space in Africa. For example, if you look at fintech in Africa is being driven by our mobile phones. That
Yes.
includes mobile money space and all that. Do you think this mobile generation can really revolutionize the way we do things in terms of technology? Starting from David.
Okay. Yes. I I can say that yes, we can really use fintech to really revolutionize our financial systems and do a whole lot of things in Africa. But the truth is that the youth of Africa are sleeping.
Mm,
The youth of Africa are sleeping. Why do I say so? We always have that notion that the future belongs to the youth. The future belongs to the youth. And it's a wrong notion. The truth is that the future belongs to the prepared youth, not necessarily the youth.
mm, mm,
I am saying this because the average African youth uses his phone purposely for maybe WhatsApping, messaging, commenting, sharing funny videos. And we really hardly come to a realization that we can use it to really do something better. But the truth is that we are not really using technology well. We are abusing technology. We are using technology for things that are not really helping us. Because why should a continent like Africa um, we we have a population of over 1.3 billion people, and over 70 to 80% are farmers, and still we cannot produce food to really help Africa. We cannot really produce enough food to feed Africa. It is because all the technologies we have, the access that we have to that, what all the things that we can do, we are not really making good use of it. So it is really true that Africa, the youth of Africa, is not really making good use of technology in a way that can benefit Africa. We have actually become consumers of technology. We use it and we buy data. As I said, we buy phones, and at the end of the day, we become consumers and consumers of technology. Hardly do we produce phones. Hardly do we really use the phones to really develop technologies that are going to solve the basic human problems that we are facing in Africa. So Africa is really having a problem in that regard. So to me, I would say that technology and fintech, financial technology, really has the potential to help develop Africa very well. But the youth are abusing it, and we are not really preparing for the future. The average African youth is not really prepared for the future that is coming. That is it.
Peter, I guess you were laughing while you were speaking. What is on your mind?
Oh, actually, he made some very incredible points. Like preparation towards the future. Africans being 1.3 billion people and about 60 to 70% of us being farmers, and yet we're not doing anything in irrigation or anything. We're not really using our technology wise. We using our technology to just develop or not even develop to watch useless stuff. I always tell people that he made incredible points. uh, I tell people that the mobile phone people use, the smartphone they use, can fetch 93.4% or anything about more than 93.4% of information ever gathered by mankind for free. You can learn how to build a reactor, a nuclear reactor, without having to pay for any course by using the internet. A kid has done it. This is nothing new. A child has been able to do it. We've seen it being done. We've seen people build drones. without going to engineering school. We've seen people do miraculous things by studying or using their mobile phones. Welcome to Ghana. Welcome to Accra. Welcome to Africa, where the person with a mobile phone uses his or a mobile phone for Instagram. And I'm not saying Instagram is bad. If you have an iPhone 11, an iPhone X, an iPhone 12, and you cry unemployment and you have an Instagram account, I think you're a very useless person.
Uh-huh.
Personally, take. And I'm not saying it's my own thoughts. I do believe if you own an iPhone 11, Samsung S10, S9, is whatever it is you're holding, and the phone is a good enough phone that can take good pictures, and you lack, you have Instagram account, and how do you call it? You don't you claim or you cry unemployment. You're a very useless person.
Mm.
I know somebody that had a mobile phone which wasn't as quality as Samsung S10 or iPhone X or whatever it is, but the person decided that, you know what, I don't really have an Instagram account, but let me create an Instagram account. Let me go trade something. Let me create a Facebook page. Let me sell shoes and dresses, etc. She went to the market, found out where they sell some dresses, got some pictures here and there, brought it, showcased it over on the Instagram, bought some shoes, a few shoes here and there, took nice pictures of the shoe with how do you call them things, with a phone, posted it on Instagram, paid like $20 to Facebook to do advertisement both on Facebook and Instagram. See, the cost of that person's phone was less than $100, or the maximum was 120 USD. The cost of the Instagram advertisement was around 20 or $30. The cost of going to the market to go and negotiate on a dress without purchasing the dress was around $5. $5 is a little much, but it was around $5. The cost of buying the shoes was less than $200. I'm not saying you have to buy the shoes. You can do what the person did even if you don't have the money. Go to the market, negotiate on the dress, come and have a picture of the dress, take a picture of the phone, come and put it on Instagram, sell the dress. If somebody buys, go pick the dress, deliver the dress, be a middleman or a
Mm.
middle. But
Mm.
you're on Instagram taking a picture of yourself and doing all this kind of nonsense thing on Instagram, and you're crying unemployment, you're a very useless person. Excuse my French, but it is true, sadly. How is that even going to change? I'm already giving away that is going to change. You know, our mobile phones are powerful tools. I don't have a smartphone. This is the phone I use, and it shocks people why I use this phone. I keep telling people that all the things I need to do with the phone, I do them with my laptop anyway. And now when my laptop got spoiled, I bought an iPad Pro that I think I can work with it. I can go for meetings, and it's still going to be enough. I do all my works from my iPad Pro, all my works from editing my documents for, like, this is the I'm using my iPad Pro for this event, from this for this program. You see, and if you have such good devices, and all you do is browse on Facebook, browse on Instagram, go to Twitter and do gossip and all this kind of stuff, and it doesn't bring you money. See, you can slay all you want in the world. I'm not the one to come and judge you. But whatever job it is you are doing, if it doesn't bring you money, you are wasting your life, you are wasting your talent, and you're becoming useless day by day. David was right, was right, and he's very right when he says the future doesn't belong to the youth, it belongs to the prepared youth. It is
Yes.
absolutely true. I am prepared for whatever that I will get and I want to get in life. You see, it is not the thing in the future. Like I said always, it is not the resources that is even the problem. It's how resourceful you are. It's your resourcefulness. That is the biggest issue. Now, if you're not resourceful, you grow to become a foolish man. You see, there are foolish old men. Not every old person is wise. The foolish child will grow to become a foolish old man. Nothing will change along the line. A wise kid will grow up to become a wise old man. Nothing will change along the line. A child that is foolish and decides to change his life and become wise will change his life and become wise. That is the only thing that will change. Now, many of the youth are very reluctant, we are very lazy, we are very lackadaisical, we are very unintelligent. We are academically intelligent, don't get me wrong, but we are very, 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 very morally unintelligent. We are economically unintelligent. When it comes to working, we are very unintelligent in that aspect. You go to work on Monday and you cry, and you come back on Friday and you are rejoicing, happy hour. You see, it's sad. It's a sad thing. And now we have to hold on to everybody. We have to look at everyone and now come and teach everybody how to make it in life. Oscar, this is something that we must all do. we must open up the way for people to know that, see, you are being foolish, and there's no need to sugarcoat this thing. There's no need to sugarcoat it. It will rot your teeth. It will give you tooth decay. We mustn't sugarcoat things any longer. We must say things as it is. If something is right, we say, hey, what you are doing is right. If it's preposterous, we say what you are doing is preposterous. And as it stands, African youth, we are being preposterous. And I'm not saying everybody. I'm saying the overlapping majority. We are doing what is very, very ludicrous. We are doing what is very, very outlandish. We are doing what is not right. We are being stupid and lazy. And we are not looking at the future. We are not addressing our future properly. The technology is here to stay. Tech is here to stay, and it is always increasing. We can develop mobile apps. We can develop systems that can go up. We can develop very, very, very intelligent tools. We can do certain things. See, when I look at the company that's the fintech that recently sold their company for the Nigerian fintech. What is the name of the company? Um, what is the name? It's not Flutterwave. It's the other one. I forgot the name of the company. They sold their company to Stripe for $200 million, and they started about 5, 6 years ago, or 7 years, maybe 2013, 2016. From 2013 to 2016, that's when they started. They sold their company for $200 million. That is enough to change a whole lot of people's life. It's enough to change 200 people's life. It's enough to change 1,000 people's lives. Now you see how the technology can revolutionize our continent. It can give us revolution. One person did something, two people did something great. They ended up selling for 200 million. Can you imagine me, you, David, and 1,000 people coming together to do something similar in fintech? And you ask a very, very intelligent question: is fintech really going to help us? Yes. If there's something that will help us in technology, it's going to be fintech. Fintech is the way we are going to move our money about easily. Now, mobile money has come to do miracles. It has done what the Westerners could not do, and still the Westerners are still struggling to grasp the understanding behind how mobile money was able to pick up in Africa. It doesn't exist in many places. How you can use USSD. Look at this company that sponsors you.
Yeah, ZP.
You see ZPay.
Yeah.
ZPay. See how wonderful they are doing.
Mm.
Come to Ghana, go to UK. ZPay is doing miraculous stuff. USSD, my God. Oscar, it's just amazing. So what is the rest of us doing? What are we doing? Technology can be used for good. You can literally do something with your mobile phone. You can set up an entire company with your mobile phone. If you don't believe me, I run my entire company from an iPad now. All the companies I run them from an iPad. You can build a website from an iPad. True, I'm doing it from my iPad. Manage website from an iPad. I'm doing it from an iPad. You can do a whole lot of things from the iPad. Have your meetings from the iPad. I'm doing one right now, as you can see. Do many things from your phone, your smartphone, your Samsung phone, your iPhones. But you're only using it for Facebook and Instagram. Of course, if you are using it for Facebook and this is the thing you're listening to, then it's very profitable. But you need to also ask something that will give you more money. This is good. It will help you develop more intelligence, and in certain other aspects of your life, it will help you grow. But add more money to it. Add something that will give you more money. Like do something with your life. Make some business with your life. Grow yourself and grow with responsibility and use the technology wisely. It's going to stay. Whether you like it or not, Tesla will come to Ghana. I've seen one. I've seen more than one in this country. Tesla has come to Ghana, and we are still here looking at what? Joking with our lives? No, we can't.
Wow, wow. Look, I'm enjoying the discussion. And please, if you are watching this, I will encourage you to share this for somebody to have the opportunity to watch this. This discussion is amazing. I think you can never have this discussion on any platform. I think so. You can never have it, the whole world. Right? I'm enjoying the discussion. And these are young brains that are really, they understand the terrain that people don't really understand. Can you imagine the example that you are making? That somebody sourcing for dresses and shoes, negotiating price without buying, having an Instagram account, put it in there. When he sells, you go and takes his profit. These are ideas. You don't need. When somebody says, "I need capital to start business," I'm like, you are not resourceful. This is what, Peter, you always mean by resourcefulness.
Yes. Yeah.
Meaning that this guy has started the business without a capital. I call it OPM, uses other people's money to start the business because somebody has already invested. You go and take the product. You don't even take the product. You take a picture, put it on your Instagram page. You sell it, take your profit, and give what? the cost to the person you took it from. And this is just simple ideology that the time that you waste on Facebook watching unnecessary stuff. Let me give you this example, right? David and Peter, if we were here and our caption is that MPP and NDC is a stupid party, I can bet you the number of people that will come and watch this program.
Yes, true.
But because the title is technology, the future of Africa and development, they don't want to know.
Yes.
And this is where I always say that our priorities are wrong, isn't it, David? What is your take?
Very true. Most of us have the wrong priorities. There is a saying that if you teach a man how to, if you give a man fish, he will finish it and come and look for more. But if you teach him how to catch fish, he will never run out of fish. He will always have fish all the time. Now the problem is many people like to be helped rather than taught how to make it on their own.
Mm.
If not, they would have had an interest to listen to powerful conversations like this that can help all of us to really change our continent together. And I have been saying, we are always looking for aid. We are looking for people to give us grants, to give us aid, to support us, and all those aids doesn't end anywhere. It is dead aid. I say it because it comes with conditions, and it even makes us lazy. And it is actually it would be the best if the youth could have time to participate in programs like this, to listen to things that is going to develop their mind, because the whole problem of Africa is lack of is lack of knowledge. If we have the right kind of mindset, if anyone knows that he can make $1 million, you will not go and make maybe $1,000. So it's lack of knowledge. If we have the right kind of mindset and we know what we are supposed to do, we won't be far behind the way we are. So we have the wrong priority. Majority, the average African youth is really not prepared to really move out of the situation that Africa is in now. So it is left on the few of us who have that kind of understanding to find ways and means that we can communicate our ideas to the average person, that when people really come into an understanding of where we are and where we really want to be, it is not an easy journey. So I think we have our priorities wrong, and we must endeavor to change if we truly want to develop.
Now, to you, David, again, yeah. Now, do you think there is enough education technological platforms for young people to learn the needed skills about technology on the continent?
A few are available, but not enough.
Mm,
We have a platform like MEST.
mm,
MEST, they are into web technology. They are in Accra here. They train programmers. They train people into the tech industry, and they even help to provide funding for them. They are doing very well, but how many people do they train?
mm,
The numbers are very few. We have a lot of emerging institutions like Ashesi, which is doing very well. But the truth is that the numbers, even the capacity to the number of students they can train are very few. So I would say that yes, there are some institutions that are really having the interest to come in to help solve Africa's problem, but they are not enough. As I said, even the technological equipment, the infrastructure, the necessary things are not really enough. They are not enough. And even if you come to the cities, it is even better. But most of the smaller towns and the villages, they are very far deprived. And if we truly want to develop, we must put in steps in place to provide some of these things that will help to facilitate the training of tech entrepreneurs, and at least people who will come out with the necessary skills in technology to help develop our continent. So the truth is that The institutions are not enough. They are really not enough.
Peter, your take.
Okay, so it's true. The institutions are not enough. We have developers in Vogue. We've got which is developers in Vogue, right? DIV, for female entrepreneurship training, training women in tech. We've got Google trying to do one or two things here and there. Ashesi University is really doing well with robotics. We've got Meltwater Mist doing really good. It's working. It's working for now. It's really working, and it'll work in the long term. It's working. But we need more companies. We need more trainers. We need more trainees to be able to people to join this STEM thing, science, technology, engineering, mathematics stuff, for us to be able to develop even more. And people not going into all these things, and people not even making money in technology. Some of them do not even know how to calculate things in the first place. If you really want to make Africa and you want to make it in technology, there's a simpler way to do it. And I could explain to people how I think. All I do is I think for money. Basically, that's what I do, and I can show people the trick into thinking. You see, you can make $1 million in a year. I mean, of course, it's not going to be as easy as I've said. I'm going to say, but you can make $1 million in a year, and the way to make that $1 million in the year, it's not exactly going to be by sitting down idle and then wishing for something. Well, it's by critically thinking. And how do you think about making $1 million in a year? You see, you can go by selling 18,000 people, selling something which costs $5, a service, a technological service or something which costs $5 to 18,000 people every month for 12 months.
Yeah.
That will give you $1 million in over. You can go by selling something which costs $200 to people, a service which costs $200. It could be technological, it could be anything, to maybe 5,000 people. Roughly, that should also give you $1 million. Whichever currency you use, you can go by selling 500 things to 2,000 things that cost $500 to 2,000 people. It will give you the same amount. You can make 5,000 people pay $17 every month for 12 months. It will also give you 1 point something million. You can go. You see, you have to break it down. By breaking it down, you can be able to think deeper. It accounts for the reason why most technological stuff comes with subscription. Subscription says $2 a month, $5 a month, $12. You see, when you think around that arena, you don't charge people more. One service is split for many people. They go ahead, they pay for it, you get your money quick, easy. It's easier for me to pay you $5 than for you to ask me for $1,000. I'm not going to buy a service unless it's very, very useful. But I could pay you $5 a month and make 200 more people pay the same $5. You see, we go ahead even more in the same way, in the same regard. So I do believe Meltwater is doing something great. I've been to Meltwater before, tried their stuff, and I can tell you that they are doing real good. They're doing real good, really good. The process in which they used to vet people is miraculous. It's wonderful. They train you enough to become marketers and people in technology, developers, etc. They will piece you together for you to program something. And many startups have come out of Meltwater, agricultural startups, etc. Beaver, which was one lady, like I've forgotten her name. Beaver also came out from Meltwater. Now she made some bit of money and moved ahead in life. If we can get 1,000 people, and there's Andela, let's not forget. Andela is one of the best technological companies in Africa. If anybody's willing to learn technology and you think you have the basic understanding of programming or anything of the sort in marketing, etc., you can try Andela, try Meltwater, try developers in Vogue. You can do all those things. They will help you. We are trying. We are not there yet, but we are doing something. We are not there yet. We certainly hope to get more people to come aboard to be able to train us so we can develop more apps, more things to change our lives. Paystack has done well. They've showed us the way. They've given us the green light. They've showed that it is possible. In 4 years, it is possible to do something like that. In 7 years, it is possible to do something like that. If Paystack can do it, and I believe you can do it, I believe in you more than you believe in yourself. You are
Wow.
there.
Wow. It's getting quite interesting, and trust me, I'm enjoying the conversation. And as I always say, if you're enjoying it like the way I'm enjoying it, then please share this for somebody to have the opportunity. Because somebody watching this interview, you might never know, their mindset will change, and they are going to be the next game changer on the continent. Because these are young people that are like you, who are changing the narrative. When others are giving excuses, they are taking that bold step to really change the narrative on the continent. And trust me, you guys are on the CNN of Africa. because
Thank
I'm so proud of you, because
you.
you are the people that gives me hope that it can be done. Though you are not where you want to be, but your story is an inspiration to a lot of young people. Now let me go on to the level where, now when you look at technology like robots, machine learning, and artificial intelligence, Internet of Things, development of mobile apps, cashless payment systems, to mention a few, do you think we have the infrastructure to develop advanced technologies like this?
Yes,
Yes.
we have.
Mm,
We have, and we can make it possible if we if we really prepare. Why do I say this? Even if we come into the manufacturing of phones, electronic devices, and all that, do you know that cobalt, coltan, and then other minerals that are used to manufacture mobile devices, electronic devices. Cobalt, for instance, and coltan, the whole world, over 60% is manufactured, is produced in Africa. The Democratic Republic of Congo has over 60% of the coltan and cobalt combined worldwide. That's the percentage produced. And these two are the very significant um, materials that are used to manufacture phones, smartphones. We can also talk of tablets, computers, and all that. Now, something that has always been a worrying trend for me is if Africa is producing over 60% of this important mineral, which is what is used to manufacture smartphones, and yet we cannot even manufacture a smartphone. It is really something that is very bad, because without Africa and without the Democratic Republic of Congo, it means that most of the smartphones that we have today, we won't have it.
mhm,
Now, why did I bring this analogy? I just want us to understand something. Um, Democratic Republic of Congo, for instance, has over 20. The mineral resources is over 24 trillion, and it is the ninth richest continent in terms of natural resources. In fact, in terms of some of when we are to talk about minerals, it's one of the richest worldwide.
mm,
And the unfortunate thing is that they are among the top five poorest countries worldwide. Very rich. This looks like, in fact, they are being cursed with so much resources and very poor. Now, what I want us to understand is that we have the resources.
mm,
We have the resources. We may not have the systems in place, but if we make up our mind to make it possible, it can happen, because we have the resources. We not only that, many of the African countries are very blessed, and the even the continent of Africa in general has over 30% of the natural resources worldwide. So if we have over 30% of the natural resources, and in terms of population, we contribute only 16%. Those 16% is significant, but in terms of resources, we are contributing 30%. It means that we have more resources and we are blessed.
mm,
So I think that if we have good leadership, if we have visionary people who are thinking and are selfless and will not think of harnessing everything for their own parochial interest, and will rather have the interest of Africa at heart, and they will have the interest of their respective countries at heart, I believe Africa can do something better. If we can manage the resources we have, we will be the richest. We will be able to develop technologies, as you said, in terms of artificial intelligence, mobile app development, software. We can really build tech giants in Africa if we have, if we tune in our mind and we develop our mind and we make up our mind that we really want to make it. It's possible. We have it. We have the resources. It is only left with we being able to convert the resources into its right use, to be able to really develop our continent. And I believe that as time goes on, if the youth and the people of Africa can come on to think like this, it could really be done.
Now, Peter, every innovation comes with sustainability. If you innovate and you cannot sustain, then it means that that technology that you built is not going to last, right? Now,
Yeah.
do you think our innovative ideas are sustainable in the long run on the continent of Africa?
Oh yes, I think
Mm.
they are. They are very sustainable. You see, like David said, we've got everything we need to make things right. And in Africa, all we need to sustain ourselves, it's not as if we don't have we have the bias, we have the intelligence. If you're able to build the technology, then people will buy.
Mm.
Because you've got like 1.3 billion people. That's like a whooping lots. It's like it's a lot of people. If 1.3 billion people decide that, see, we'll buy things you produce.
Mm.
Oscar, what are you crying about? Do you get the point I'm making?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Like if 1.3 billion people decide, even if let's say if 700 million people in Africa decide that we are only going to buy made in Africa, and we ourselves decide that we are going to develop good things in Africa, sustainability wouldn't be an issue
Mm.
because then we can.
Mm.
Sustainability mostly happens when you cannot develop more, and two, you don't have the capital resources to improve upon whatever you're doing. We can always innovate. We can always innovate. We move from a fixed line to a mobile phone. The companies that chose to not innovate, like BlackBerry, they're dead and gone. But the ones that chose to reinvent themselves, they are still alive.
Mm.
The one that chose to partner with the right people, they are still alive.
Mm.
You see, so when it comes to can it be something that we can actually maintain? Yes, we can. Can we scale it up? Yes, we can. We've got the resources, we've got the power, we've got the potential to do it. We've got the problems. We have enough problems.
Mm.
We have enough problems that we can face with tech. So as for that, I do believe. And going back to what David said with the cobalt, etc. One of the reasons DRC is actually poor is because of the mentality of the people of Africa. This is how Africans will work. We work in a way that any country that has the right mineral, somebody will sell it and give it to somebody else. And the whites are also very wicked people. I don't know the kind of God that gave them the intelligence. But then again, their intelligence is a little wicked when it comes to mineral. They are very, very wicked. I wish we could just suck all of them from all the minerals and keep it ourselves, find a way to maintain it ourselves, and see
Mm.
how our lives will change. So suppose we don't put in selfish people to
Mm.
rule. Magafuli did certain things where he sacked certain people from their country and said, hey, my friend, you owe us this much money. Bring the money. We are sucking from our natural resources. We use it ourselves and we'll do something great. Yeah, 108 or $180 billion worth of things have been taken away, worth of mineral resources have been taken away from Tanzania. They are now bringing the money back to Tanzania. They are forced to bring the money back to Tanzania. No matter the number of points they will go, they will still win
Mm.
because it's our resources. Somebody sold it to you under false pretense. We just know what the country wants. You cannot come and take Africa and then make Africa. You've done enough. Neocolonialism is still happening. They've done enough. They came and gave us mirrors and then took away our gold. What the hell is a mirror? Like if you think about it, our leaders have play very very bad way. Look at DRC, one of the poorest countries in the world. Look at cobalt. It's used even in plane engines. I'm not even lying, Oscar. It's
Mhm.
used in almost everything that needs technology, like almost everything that uses transistors. It's used almost everywhere. But here we are, crying out of poverty. Here we are, crying we don't have the resources. Crying. What other resources is better than natural resources? Apart from the human resource and the intellectual resource, what other resource is better than gold and all these minerals? They pick our gold. They also have gold in their countries, but they don't dig it. They're reserving it. America has got oil. Oil that reserve that will last for 50 years. They're not using it. They are bullying whenever they see fried oil anywhere, they go and fight.
Mm.
If they see somebody is frying beef with fried oil, they will come and fight with you for the oil. You see, like it's amazing, and we are still giving ourselves out like that. I think it's time for us to change. I think it's time for us to think ahead of time. I think it's time for us to plan 50 years ahead. Right now, Singapore is planning the next 50 years. They finished planning up to 2050. They are planning from 2050, 2051 to 2100. They are planning the city of Singapore.
Mm.
See, what are we doing here? We are just jokers, Oscar. We can do better. We can really do better. And yes, we can sustain whatever we do.
We can do better, and for that I agree that we can we are not maximizing our potential, whether it's human capital or resources. We are not maximizing it, and I think that has been our bane, and that has been our challenge all these years. But I believe that young people like you, over time, are going to change the narrative. It's going to be a very difficult task, but I believe that there is nothing impossible when you put your mind to. We just have to
True.
have the right mindset. And I always say this: you don't need everyone in the country to be sensible. You need a few people that are sensible with the right mindset to change the others. So if we have got a core team of people that have got the right mindset, we can change the whole nation. And let me tell you how it is done. If people are driving haphazardly on the road and they are not adhering to traffic signs, what we do is we put cameras there for cameras to check them. In that way, we are making the camera to cause them to be sensible. Because if you violate a traffic offense, if you have a traffic offense, you are going to pay a penalty or probably go to court. And this is where we need that few sensible people that are like-minded and are ready to change. Those people are not selfish, but they want to leave a legacy for the generation to come. Let me tell you this: any generation that is not ready to sacrifice, that generation can never leave a legacy for the next one. If we really want to change, we the ones that are changing now at this generation, we will never make money. When you look at this US and this Europe that we are talking about, their forefathers sacrificed and they had penny for this
Very
current
true.
generation to enjoy.
Very, very true.
And until we have that selflessness, trust me, it is never. But if the current generation is stealing and is corrupt, what legacy can they leave for the next generation? Until we decide to forgo ourselves and invest, not really having what it takes to be wealthy, but rather investing. Because if we want to invest the next 15 years, it means that we are not going to make the money the next 15 years.
True.
And until we understand that, and until we are ready to sacrifice, there is nothing that can be changed. But I believe that there is always a way out. And as I said earlier on, we don't need anybody to be sensible on the continent for us to succeed. We need a few ones that are willing, ready to sacrifice, and we can change the status quo. It is a matter of time. And I believe that leadership will come into the right young hands and they will take the mantle. If you are given 4 years term and you don't think about the next 4 years, but your mandate is to make change within the 4 years, you can make more impact than trying to please everybody so that you get the next 4 years. That is the kind of leadership that we need. But I believe in you guys, and I believe that we are going to make history. This platform is just started, and I believe that there is more to come. It starts from us, we the young people, trying to have these discussions and trying to put support systems and going on the ground to change the narrative. Starting those small businesses, giving ourselves the next 10 years for us to make the money so that we can change more lives. And I believe that if we can do that, then we will be in a better position to say that, look, we came and we conquered. So I believe that, look, I've enjoyed this discussion. It's been an amazing discussion. But there is one question that, trust me, I really want to ask you guys. And that is, I always say that we are a digital generation, but we are being led by analog leadership. Do you think this has led the continent not to grow in relation to technological drive? Because analog minds of digital minds of young people is being led by analog minds. What is
Most
your take, David?
Okay. It's very true. It is part of the reason why our progress is so slow. Why do I say this? As I was giving the example of the National Science and Maths quiz, if we had people with vision who think that we have passed the stage where we will be doing raw theoretical knowledge of chew and pour,
Mm,
and it is the time of automation, the time of artificial intelligence, the time of being able to develop practical skills to really solve
I think we've got David a bit of technical hitch, but your take, Peter.
So it is true that it's affecting us. Analog leaders are expecting they are ruling digital world. It's affecting us, but it's true for many other countries too. You know, one of the things that we have to actually put in perspective is the fact that in Africa we are now adapting to technology. Technology came here last. We are adapting to technology. We are ruling it right. You go to many countries, people are now shifting from the analog world to the digital world. There's a new paradigm shift that is happening. We can only watch, we can learn, we can hope, we can pray, we can work hard, and we can gear others toward the digital side. Now it's like it's a learning curve, you know. Now is the period where we are using to learn what is happening, what's probably going to happen. And we are taking inspiration from the people from the West to know that, oh, these people did this, it's not going to work right for them. Our leaders, most of them are old men, right? Trust me, they're very old, 75 years, and they don't know nothing about technology. But they are the same people that will be able to help us. Should we show them the way, or should they give us the way to come and do what is right? It might cause us a bit of problem, or it's really causing us a bit of problem now, but I think we are making the effort. We are really doing the best we can to move forward. Look at Ghana's vice president, always trying his best to encourage people in technology and people who have brilliant ideas to come up with innovative stuff. And they're trying to push themselves through technology, you know, to do something great, something miraculous, something wonderful. And I do believe if every African continent or every African leader can do that, can take some ahead, can do something like that, then it's going to be really helpful. Let's hope the African continent, the mother Africa, the leaders adapt to digital life and not the analog life. Now we started it little by little. We are moving things, even passport renewals, all this kind of thing. We are moving to the digital world. It might take a bit of time. Let's say 3 years down the line, we might be good. We might reach maybe 40% or 50%, and in a few years more, we'll be able to go. We'll be going to go. I think we are doing well. We started now. It's not enough, but we are doing well.
Now, Peter, David, just a quick one on your take.
Okay, so what I was saying is that it is part of the reason why we are a bit behind. If we have leaders who have the vision for technology and they are really digital people who think that the world is moving from the analog to the digital world, they will be able to direct most of the investments to those areas. So it is part of the problem. But I know, as he said, we are really coming up. As Peter said, we are coming up small, small. It's like some of our leaders are realizing that there is the need for us to
So
be.
yeah, Oscar, we
Yeah.
just have to try. We
Yes.
have to try.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. 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 Now, what does the future holds for technological drive on the continent of
What is
Africa?
wrong?
Oh, we are on the highway to heaven. We are on the highway to heaven when it comes to technology in the future and the roadmap. I think we've got a chance. It is our chance to shine. See, payment or technology, fintech. I mean, it's not exactly here that much. Social media, the collaboration of things and using things to work, it's not exactly here. See, we've got the fertile grounds. So long as we are wise enough to use it wisely, I can promise you we've got the fertile ground. Everything is possible for us in Africa. It's our time to shine. Oscar, I'm telling you, it's our time to shine.
Wow.
The whites are all coming here saying, oh, we are going to the developing Africa. Mother Africa. They're not praising Mother Africa. The same country, they said that they are not wearing slippers. What is the essence of slippers? They are not telling us that slippers is important. Now that we are wearing slippers, we have to also do the same thing to them. Oh, we don't like technology. We don't like technology. We build our own technology.
Why is
We
it
move
doing
our
like
own
that?
technology. Come to oh, technology is actually very essential. We have to pay them back. Africans must now stand up, develop themselves, encourage themselves, build certain things, push themselves forward, and learn and know how to develop Africa. Oscar, we have the highway to heaven. We've got a good roadmap. So long as we are going to celebrate something good.
Wow.
We've got
Wow.
good things. We've got the goods. As for that, I believe in us. We've got the goods. From everything, we are not dead yet.
Wow.
We are strong. We are really strong when it comes to opportunity.
Mm.
There's more opportunity in Africa than there is anywhere in the world.
Mm.
That is the reason they are all running to Africa. That is the
Wow.
reason Stripe came to buy Paystack.
Mm.
They want to be the first in Africa. They want to be one of the
Mm.
strongest in Africa. See, they are all running to Africa. So if we are not smart enough and we leave them to come and take it again, like the way they took it 400-500 years ago,
Mm.
then we will give ourselves to blame. We'll have ourselves to blame. Then 400 years down the line, our sisters are going to call us fools. Indeed, we will be fools if we allow them to come and take it.
Mm. Wow. Trust me, this has been a very great discussion, right? And I have enjoyed every bit of this discussion. Now, David, what is your take on the future of Africa when it comes to technology?
The future of Africa is bright.
Mm.
As Peter said, I can see a lot of technological startups. I can see Africa inventing startups like Linux. We are inventing startups like
Can you hear
Ubuntu.
sound?
Other better technologies are coming up from Africa. And then even from Ghana, Nigeria, I see a lot of startups coming. I believe that Africa is coming up. And if we continue on that track, we are going to make it big. However, what I only want to say is that I weep when I sit down and consider the situation. And I always talk about our resources. For instance, I always think of, for instance, California, for instance.
Mhm.
California, a state in the US, California has a GDP of over 3.6 billion dollars. Africa is a continent of over 1.3 billion people with a GDP of 2 trillion. So if California, which is only a state with over only 40 million people, can have a GDP of over 3.6 billion, and Africa is a whole continent with over 1.2 billion, the story is very bad. And it is only technology that can really help us to bridge this gap.
Mm.
So I want to encourage everyone watching me now that the future doesn't necessarily belong to the youth. It belongs to the prepared youth. It belongs to someone watching me right now who will say, from today, I am going to make a change. I am going to start thinking 50 to 100 years ahead of time. I am going to start planning. I am going to put plans in place to really move from where I am to where I want to be. I
Mm.
believe this is the only way Africa can come out. So I would say that we really have a bright future, but the journey is not an easy thing for us to get to where we really want to be. So we have a bigger responsibility and we should work hard and we'll surely get there. Thank
So
you very
the
much.
future is for the prepared youth, not
Yes.
for any other youth. You
Yes.
have to be prepared, and that is where you can talk about the future. I think that is a very powerful quote, and I'm going to quote you every time. Now, it's been wonderful having you guys, and I really enjoyed the discussion. And thank you very much for your time, and
Thank you too.
I enjoyed everything. And I've got some comments here. Let me try and read some few comments. And I've got Douglas Bumbi Kirimi. This man is coming on the show on Thursday, all the way from Kenya. This is a 28-year-old man, young man, that really stood for MP 4 years ago. He lost, but he's standing again the next 4 years. And these are the young people that we want you to watch. 28 years in Africa, a lot of people will say, I'm very young. But this man, the kind of things he's doing in Kenya and on the east of Africa, it will amaze you. He said, wow, I'm watching. Then I have got Kingsley Body giving us some too many thumbs up. They have got Georgina Bimpo saying good evening all. She also says great discussion. I've got Elsie Owusu Kumi. He say I also spend more internet in Ghana than UK. Then I've also got Douglas Bundi coming back to say great conversation here. I'm inspired. Then I have got Elsie Owusu Kumi says well done guys. Then I've got Flora Ikura. She says, I'm enjoying this conversation. She also says that strip bought Pesach of Nigeria. Then Odi Cummings says evening greetings. And Abraham Ayaba says, wow, very interesting. Man, you've made people's day. Very great conversation. But just before I go, let me give a few mention of our sponsors. This program is sponsored by Train to Inspire Consultancy, your business training and consulting firm, and for all your business startup and your business development and strategically position yourself in the marketplace, just contact Train to Inspire Consultancy. They also work with colleges and universities in terms of the personal development of students. Then also ALS Global Shipping and Logistics, your trusted import and export company based in Accra. ALS says when you are stranded at the port, call them and they will sort you out. Then ZPay Ghana Limited, your mobile money company based in Ghana. They just launched their USSD code and that is star 270 hash. Then dial it on your phone and register for ZP mobile money. Then Wheels for Sure, your car leasing company for every credit. Wheels for Sure says that it doesn't matter your credit history. You walk out of the garage with the car of your choice. When you call Wheels for Sure, code T2I 2020 to get a good deal. Now, Wheels for Sure is based in the UK. If you want to contact any of the sponsors, the numbers are scrolling on the screen. Take them and contact them. Then also, if you want to really sponsor any of our shows, please take the T2I TV UK number or the Train to Inspire Consultancy number and contact us, and we are going to work with you. I always say that a lot of small businesses and startups cannot go to mainstream media to advertise. Come to us, and we are going to work with you. We are going to grow with you. And as we grow with you and you are becoming bigger, our market share with you is going to increase. And that is how we are going to work with you. So it's been wonderful for today's discussion. As I said earlier on, I really enjoy every bit of it. And if you are watching this, I will encourage you to share this for somebody to have the opportunity to watch this. I always say that we our fingers are so quick to share comedy than to share education stuff. There must be a paradigm shift for us to be hungry to share education stuff, but and also comedy because we need to laugh as well. Now, Peter, your last word to everyone that is watching us.
It's even funny to me what I'm about to say. You're not born to come and pay bills and die.
Mm,
I think your stance in life is not helping you, or the things you are doing in life is not helping you. Please change. You're not a tree. You can always change your address in your state of life.
mm,
It starts by changing your mindset, reading certain kind of books. It starts by working hard and doing what is right. Right now, technology is up and it is running. It's not coming. It is here already. Join the bandwagon. Don't just go and mess around on Instagram and Facebook and be sharing comedies and be doing joke stuff. You can do business. It doesn't matter what you do. You can still make some good money somewhere. Don't cry for unemployment. What you have a good mobile phone in your hands. Your mobile device can access almost 94% of the entire information ever gathered by mankind, from criminal records to how to build a good company, including how to become an architect.
mm.
All these can be gotten for free through your mobile phone. Buy a bit of internet, read some books here and there, read some articles here and there, watch incredible videos and interviews like this one, and then watch your life develop. It pays to be a wise person, but it even pays more if you use your wisdom to benefit yourself and the future generation. Do something for yourself, do something for Africa, join the tech bandwagon, and improve upon your life and the future of your kids. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. And that was a powerful statement to make over there. Now, David, your last words to everyone that is watching us.
Okay. So what I want to say is that poverty is not a lack of resources,
Mm,
but a lack of creativity. If we blame the government, if we blame our uncles, our brothers, our sisters for not helping us, we will still be the same place. So, what I would say is that we have to change our minds. We have to be determined. We have to stop the complaints. make the decisions right now, because the tomorrow that we are looking for depends on our planning today. If we don't plan today very well, then tomorrow is going to be the same situation. So we should start thinking about the future that we really want to be. We should envisage the future. We should plan very well for it and sacrifice today, because as you earlier on mentioned, all the countries that the top developed nations, their great grandfathers made a lot of sacrifices. They couldn't enjoy the luxury, but they are enjoying now. So if we really want our future generations to also have it better, we have to sacrifice now. All the top developed countries that we see today, we think most of them is through only the government, and government is doing everything, but it's not true. I have always been saying most of the technologies that are changing the world have been started by private individuals. So don't sit down in your small corner and think you are too small. You can do it when you think of creativity, and you are able to focus your mind on doing something to help the world. It will really, it will really bring something good. And I want to say one last thing. The reason why Africa has been left far behind and our continent is not at its right place is that all the major technological inventions that have caused the change of humanity and have really brought a lot of improvement to human lives, none has actually come from Africa.
Mm.
And I am throwing a challenge that we, the young people of Africa, should also come to think of it. We should be able to come out with something that is going to help the world and not only Africa. It is only then that Africa can also have its right place in the world. So this is the little that I have. May God be with us all, and may we continue to think and dream of big things, and we shall surely get there.
I'm going to say a big amen to that because this is powerful. And trust me, look, is quite amazing what you said. That poverty is not lack of resources, but it is lack of creativity. And Peter always says this, that your inability to start your vision is not lack of resources, but it is lack of your resourcefulness. So we need to really be creative. And let me tell you this, if you are not creative, surround yourself with creative people. Can you imagine Peter and David are my close friends? I will never lack creativity. People don't know what David has taught me within a month. The kind of things this man has taught me within a month, if I'm going to read to learn about it, it is going to take me more than a year. And these are the kind of people, they make the long journey shorter. My question is that, which people are you surrounding yourself with? I put something on Facebook today and I said, if you are an eagle and you mingle with chickens, you are more likely to lose your flying abilities. Why? Because you start thinking like a chicken. If you surround yourself with people that don't have vision, that don't understand that it can be done, that don't have the right skills, that don't have the right mentality, trust me, you are going to be an average of those people. The people you surround yourself with, they are very critical to your success in life. And success is within reach when you have the right mindset and you surround yourself with the people that, you see, there are people when I'm around them and I fall, they take my right hand and say, Oscar, it can be done. The people that surround you when you fall, do they laugh or they tell you, I told you so? You need to have the right people around you. You need to invest your time in discussions like this. There is no time left. The time is now. And if you invest your time wisely, I can tell you, in few months, in few years, you will sit back and say, I made the right decision. If you have enjoyed this discussion, I want you to share this and let's make this platform a global platform where young Africans and everyone that desire to learn will be a place for them to really come. Now, on Thursday, I've got a powerful young man from Kenya, Mr. Douglas Bundi, that is going to come on the show. It is going to blow your mind. He's going to talk about his political experience at the age of 28, and he's going to talk about youth empowerment and service. It is going to be a powerful discussion. And that is what we bring to you every time. We have left the story of Africa to be told by others for far too long. It is time for us to share our own story. And sharing it in our own language, in our own understanding, and in our own ways means that we are writing the history. Let us start today and trust me about tomorrow is going to be better. There is hope because of the likes of Peter and David. And for me, I believe that if the few of us with the right mindset can drive that change in our own small way, over time we will form a ripple effect that is going to change the continent over time. Stay blessed and catch you on Thursday, 8 p.m. GMT. It is going to be, no, for Kenya's one, it is going to be 4:30 p.m. GMT, and that is going to be 7:30 Kenya time because Kenya leads GMT 3 hours. So it's going to be an amazing discussion. God richly bless you. And before I go, I've got Flora saying, great works, Oscar. Keep it up. More power to your elbow. Thank you very much. He said, thank you, Peter and David, for your time, knowledge, motivation. May that say. Thank you, Flora, and God richly bless you. Thank you very much, Peter and David, and
Thank you.
God richly bless you for your time.
Yes, sir. God bless you.
I believe that you are able to do exceedingly abundantly, far above all I could ask or think. Believe, yes, I believe. You say,
I believe that you are able to do exceedingly abundantly, far above all I could ask or think.
I